All right, welcome everyone to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that can absolutely reshape how you operate. We're talking about how to learn any skill fast. Now, the source material we're looking at today completely shatters the idea that rapid learning is just some genetic gift reserved for absolute prodigies. Instead, it lays out a highly repeatable system, a formula, really, that literally anyone can apply. So let's decode exactly how it works.
So let me just ask you this right out of the gate. Why does it seem like some people just master things almost overnight? You know exactly who I'm talking about, right? That colleague who picks up complex new software over a single weekend, or that friend who is somehow conversational in a brand new language, while the rest of us are literally still trying to memorize the alphabet. It's kind of frustrating. But here's the big secret we're unpacking today. There's no magic involved. And honestly, they probably don't even have a higher IQ than you. They just have a much, much better methodology.
So here's exactly how we're going to break this all down. First up, we'll talk about why this is the ultimate superpower. Second, why you learn slowly right now. Third, the core of this, the 10 rules of rapid learning. Fourth, we'll look at the legends of fast learning for some real-world proof. And finally, we'll wrap up with your 7-day challenge. Okay, let's jump right into section 1, the ultimate superpower, mastering the art of rapid learning. Look, in today's insanely fast-paced world, being able to absorb information quickly, it isn't just some nice-to-have party trick anymore. It is absolutely the ultimate competitive advantage. Rapid learning completely alters your career trajectory because it makes you wildly adaptable. It boosts business growth because, well, you can pivot and innovate way faster than the competition. And obviously, it heavily enhances your personal life too. You can actually pick up those hobbies, figure out your personal finances, or dial in your health without spending 5 years just trying to figure out the basics. This one superpower is literally the foundation for everything else you want to achieve. So that brings us to section 2, why you learn slowly. It's time to take a hard look at the trap of bad habits. There is a stark contrast between passive habits and high performance. Take a look at the slow learner traits. We've all been there, right? Engaging passively, maybe just binging YouTube tutorials or reading without actually doing anything. Trying to multitask, which just fractures your attention so you retain absolutely nothing. Being paralyzed by fear of failure, or just drowning in information overload, collecting endless PDFs and bookmarks but taking zero action. Now, compare that to the fast learner. They are highly active. Their practice is deliberate. They are laser-focused on one single thing at a time. And above all, they are incredibly consistent. If you've been feeling stuck, you've probably fallen into a few of those passive traps. I know I have. But we are gonna fix that right now. Moving into section 3, the 10 rules of rapid learning. This is your proven system for speed. The most crucial takeaway from the source material is that rapid learning is not chaotic. It is highly, highly structured. The material categorizes these 10 proven rules into 3 very distinct phases: planning, execution, and review. In the planning phase, you have to define one crystal clear goal. No vague ambitions here. Then you break that skill down into tiny, manageable parts and apply the 80-20 rule, which we'll dive into in just a second. Next is the execution phase, deliberate daily practice. You have to learn by doing, not watching, and ruthlessly remove all distractions. No doom scrolling allowed. Finally, the review phase. This is where you actually lock the information into your brain using active recall, teaching someone else, getting immediate feedback to correct mistakes, and tracking your progress so you can celebrate the small wins. Let's zoom in on a massive rule from the planning phase, the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. This is the concept that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. Think about it. If you want to learn Spanish fast, you don't start by reading a dictionary front to back, right? You find the 20% of vocabulary words that pop up in 80% of everyday conversations. If you're learning guitar, you master the 20% of chords that literally make up 80% of all pop songs. Find the vital core of whatever skill you're chasing and just relentlessly focus all your energy right there. And this leads us to the most scientific part of the review phase, active recall and spaced repetition. Look, passive learning is just reading a textbook and nodding along, feeling like you know it. Active recall is physically closing that book and forcing your brain to pull that information up from scratch. It feels way harder because, well, your brain is actually working. When you combine that with spaced repetition, testing yourself over increasing gaps of time, like after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, you completely hack your brain's natural forgetting curve. This is the absolute cheat code for cementing knowledge permanently. Let's fire through the rest of the execution and review steps, because these are super practical. First up, Learn by doing, not watching. I mean, you can't learn to ride a bike by watching someone else pedal on a screen. You have to get on the seat and probably fall over a few times. Second, teach someone else. Explaining a complex concept simply to a friend is the ultimate acid test of whether you actually grasp it. Third, get feedback quickly. The faster an expert can say, hey, you're doing that wrong, the faster you course correct. And lastly, track your progress. Celebrate those small wins. Learning is a marathon, and seeing your own momentum on paper keeps you fiercely motivated. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this sounds amazing in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's jump to Section 4, Legends of Fast Learning. The material highlights some absolute titans here, like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett. Consider Elon Musk. The guy didn't go to school for aerospace engineering, right? But he taught himself to build rockets by reading relentlessly, identifying those core concepts, hello, 80-20 rule, and getting brutal, immediate feedback from top experts. Then you have Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor in history. He spends the vast majority of his day just sitting in a room, reading, and actively synthesizing new information across entirely different industries. These guys don't rely on magic. They rely entirely on focused practice and continuous learning. And it translates perfectly into the physical realm, too. Take Bruce Lee and Kobe Bryant. These guys are athletic icons, but they didn't just coast on natural physical talent. They achieved unmatched mastery through intense, deliberate, daily practice. They were both famous for taking incredibly complex physical movements and breaking them down into these tiny, microscopic micro-skills. They'd practice that one micro-skill thousands of times until it was flawless, and then assemble it all back together. It's the exact same system we're talking about today. So we've defined the superpower, called out the bad habits, explained the rules, and looked at the proof. That brings us to Section 5, your 7-day challenge. This explainer isn't just about theory, it's about action. So here is your highly actionable 7-day challenge based on the framework. Step 1, choose one specific skill. Just one. Step 2, practice deliberately for 30 to 60 minutes a day. Step 3, ruthlessly remove all distractions. Seriously, put your phone in another room. Step 4, review your progress every single evening using active recall. Step 5, stay consistent for just 1 week, 7 days. Try it, and I promise you, you will be genuinely shocked at how far this focused approach can actually take you. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a quote that perfectly nails the core thesis of all of this. Speed comes from smart practice, not talent. It's such a freeing concept. We have total control over how fast we grow, how quickly we adapt, and how fast we can transform our own lives. The power is entirely in your hands. You just have to apply the system. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Your future depends entirely on what you are willing to learn today. Start right now. If you found this explainer helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss our future breakdowns, and definitely drop a comment below letting us know, what skill are you going to learn next? Thanks for exploring this with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.